A photograph by Shirley Tolson. About the poet. Shirley Tolson was born on 20th May 1924 in England. She took to writing as a career, inspired by her father, who was also a writer. She also was an editor of many magazines. Most of her works were on Celtic Christianity. Celtic Christianity was a particular kind of Christianity which was practiced in the British Islands. She also had authored many major works such as The Celtic Year Drovers, which are on Celtic Christianity. Now let us start off with the poem A Photograph. Now this poem A Photograph is a tribute to the poet's mother. Through the stock symbol of photograph, which denotes nostalgia and remembrance, the poet articulates the void or the emptiness caused by the death of her mother, and how she had made an uncomfortable peace with her mother's death. Now, it is said that every picture has a story to tell. Similarly, every photograph, it captures a moment and it has a story to tell. Now let us start off with the first stanza. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she the big girl, some 12 years or so. Now the poet says the cardboard. Cardboard is an allusion, that is an indirect reference to the photograph. Now why the word cardboard has been used? Now the word cardboard indicates those thick stiff papers which were used in pre-digital eras to develop prints. Now photograph used to be those thick stiff papers, so these allusion have been made. So cardboard here refers to the photograph. Now the poet says what the photograph describes. The cardboard shows me how it was. That is, the photograph exactly captured the moment. It describes the moment. Now the poet could see when the two girl cousins went paddling. Now what can the poet see in the photograph? The two girl cousins of the poet's mother, they were paddling. Paddling means to walk amidst shallow water, and each one holding one of my mother's hands. In the photograph, she could see, along with the two girl cousins, her mother was also present, and each one of the girl cousins, they were holding one of the poet's mother's hands as they were walking amidst shallow water. And she the big girl, some 12 years or so, and the poet's mother at that point of time was a sweet girl, and she should be around 12 years. So the photograph had captured a very pleasant memory where the poet's mother, she was enjoying a holiday and she was walking amidst shallow water along with her cousins. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. Now, as the photograph showed, all the three girls, that is the poet's mother and her three cousins, they stood still, motionless, to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. So they were on a beach, enjoying a beach holiday. So perhaps a gentle wind breeze was blowing. Their hair was scattered, but they were smiling as they were posing at the camera. And now the poet observes the photograph more intently. She observes her mother's face and she says, "A sweet face, my mother's. My mother was only 12 years old, a very sweet girl at the time, and she had a very sweet face. That was before I was born." Now obviously that was a time when the poet wasn't even born. Now, this is till this the line, the poet has described a very pleasant memory, and the pleasant tone undergoes a change in the next two lines. Now, from the foreground, the poet shifts her poetic gaze to the backdrop of the picture to see what was in the background. Now, the poet notices and the sea that is in the background. They were standing on the beach, and at the background the poet could see the sea, which appears to have changed less. Now the poet undergoes a realization. She has a realization which is not very pleasant, which is rather painful, and the poet realizes the sea in the background, which appeared to have changed less. The sea, which represents nature, it did not change much. That is, the poet wants to say, when we compare human beings to the objects of nature, we realize that we human beings are transient. That is, we change so much. The poet's mother and her two girl cousins have changed a lot. They have grown up, they have become older, but in comparison, the sea which was in the backdrop, even today, it remains the same. That is, when we compare ourselves, human life, with nature, we are transient beings, we are temporary beings. Now the poet says, and the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. That is, when she looks at the backdrop, she has a terrible realization. That is, the feet was being washed by sea water, but the sea, which is an object of nature, which represents nature, it is permanent, more or less permanent, but we human beings are transient. We are temporary human beings. We have a shelf life. Shelf life means we have our time cut out in this earth. We take birth, we live our life, and we die. But the nature goes on and on and on. Now, the literary devices which have been used in this stanza are: first one, alliteration. Alliteration is repetition of consonant sounds in two or more consecutive words. That is, the first sound should be consonant, and it should occur more than once in a line. And we have some examples of alliteration here: holding hands, stood still and smile, terribly transient. Second literary device which is used here is transferred epithet. Epithet here means adjective. Now, transferred epithet means epithet not being used with the noun but transferred to somewhere else. Let me give you one example. We often say, I had a sleepless night. Now, it is an example of transferred epithet because I was sleepless, not the night, but sleepless is being used with night. Similarly, I was walking a lonely road. The road cannot be lonely. I was lonely, but the word lonely or the adjective is not used with I, it is used with road. Similarly, terribly transient feet. That is, feet here should have been human beings. Feet is not transient. What is transient? Human beings are transient. So, it is an example of transferred epithet, adjective being used elsewhere. Third one is synecdoche. Synecdoche is part representing whole, a word which represents whole. Transient feet. Here, feet represents whole because feet represents the whole human body or human beings. That is, we human beings are transient beings, not only the feet.